Now then, my next guest is one of the world's true superstars. Will you please welcome Dolly Parton?
Well, thank you for the nice welcome, and hello to you.
Hello, Dolly.
I've never heard that one
I
before.
didn't think you'd ever heard that before. And I wasn't going to say it until you said that hello to me. I've been trying to get you on this couch for years.
I heard that, and I figured it was long enough in waiting, so I'm happy to be here with you.
Well, it's great to have you here. Now, look, I've been reading about you. Reading all about Dolly. Right?
Okay.
And this, I'm just going to check a few things along the way. Is that right? The one thing jumped out of the page I was reading. They're making up their own jokes.
I can't wait to hear this one.
That you, once for a bet, streaked through Beverly Hills. Streaked through Is that true, Dolly?
Well, not just through Beverly Hills. This was one night, a bunch of girlfriends and I were out to dinner. That's when Tom Jones was in the heat of his career, and you know how sexy he is anyway, right? And he had this beautiful home in Beverly Hills, and we'd been to the restaurant near his house. And I said, I wonder what old Tom Jones would think if I just streaked through his yard.
You never did.
I did, but the bad thing is he didn't see me.
Oh.
But the girls did, so it was okay. The limo driver liked it. He saw it.
What did he say? That is unusual.
But I tell you, it was so fast it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
You're a little tearaway, aren't you?
Oh, I was feeling good. I'd had a couple glasses of wine and feeling a little rowdy.
But Dolly, taking you right back when you were a kid, right?
I was a kid then.
And you were always a kid, it seems to me.
Yeah.
But like going right back to, you were brought up in a shack in the Smoky Mountains.
Yes.
It sounds like the yearling, from a log cabin. A big family.
Well, there's 12 children in my family, 6 girls and 6 boys. And I always say my mom had one on her and one in her, as long as I can remember. But they were great parents. We lived on a farm. We grew all our own food. My grandfather was a Pentecostal preacher, and so I grew up singing. And my mom's people were always singing. Mama was always singing around the house.
It was a strict family, wasn't it?
Well, my father's was not too... Well, he was strict on us as far as discipline, but he was not extremely religious. But my mother's people were very religious, and it was not allowed to wear makeup in the hair. And the most beautiful woman I had ever seen in my life we didn't go to town that much, but when I would go to see her because she had these long red fingernails, she wore bright lipstick, she had peroxide blonde hair, wore tight clothes, short, and I thought she was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And my mother said, oh, she's just trash. She's just a tramp. And I thought, that's what I want to be when I grow up. So I grew up to look like that, and in all sincerity, you know, it was a serious look. So when I got to where I could afford to buy a bottle of peroxide, I made my hair blonde, and I love playing in makeup. Yeah. But I'm not too trashy. I just sound that way.
You're not trashy. Although you could have been on the road to being trashy. Well, not trashy, you were playing little girl. When you were a young teenager, is that right? I can't believe this. That Dolly Parton was taking her shoulder pads out of her clothes and putting them down the front to get a bit of shape? Is this right?
I used to when I was a girl. Well, I started to grow, you know, pretty quick. And I saw that was going to do me a lot of good. I know the boys noticed me, and I liked that because I knew I was looking more like that girl in town that I thought was. So I used to steal the shoulder pads out of my grandma's coat before they had those Fredericks push-up bras. Oh, yeah. And I would push them up. And my grandma never could figure out what kept happening to the shoulder pads in her coat. But yeah, I mean, it's like you do what you got to do when you're a girl.
So you were fashion conscious as a kid, and you mentioned makeup. And you're quite happy about, you say, makeup, that's it, got to wear it. Mm-hmm. You're not going to go anywhere without it?
Not if I can help it. It's like I'm very funny, even like at night if I'm in hotel rooms, I'm always afraid, well, if I'm on a very high floor and if there's a fire, I always try to like not clean everything. I'll try to clean my skin, but I'll leave my eye makeup on a little bit. And I think, now if I got to get out of here in a hurry.
Like an earthquake?
Like an earthquake, that too. I think that if I had all my makeup off and looked as bad as I can look, and the building was burning down, I'd just go down with it. Before I would get out looking like that. Because then I'd kill a lot of other people.
Now then, moving on.
Okay.
You met your husband, Carl, let me get this right, in the Wishy Washy Laundrette.
Well, that's right.
Well, you
And that-
both put your stuff in a...
Well, this was when I first moved to Nashville in 1964. I was doing dirty laundry because I was in such a hurry to move to Nashville from my home in East Tennessee, which was 200 miles away. I'd never been in a laundromat before, and I was, trying to figure out how all that worked and washing my clothes that I brought. Walked outside, there was this good-looking man that drove by the Wishy Washy Laundromat, and he pulled over to the side.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I look kind of like that girl I was talking about earlier. I guess he thought I was. And so we started talking, and we married 2 years later, and we've been married for 32 years now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So must have been meant to be.
The funny thing is, though, you have been married a long time,
Yeah, we have.
and yet you don't see a lot of each other on tour. Is that right?
Well, back in the early days when I was really on the road a lot, we didn't see each other all the time. But that's why we've lasted 32 years, because we're not in each other's face all the time. But we do spend more time than the press would lead you to believe. But he's very independent, so am I. He likes it when I'm gone. I like it when I'm gone. And when we're together, we enjoy it.
That's great.
Yeah.
You've obviously he's had an influence on you, because I know you've dedicated a song now and again to your husband. What was that? Because I'm a Woman. Wasn't he involved in that?
Oh, that's the first hit record I ever had as a solo artist. It's called Just Because I'm a Woman. It's like, my mistakes are no worse than yours, just because I'm a woman. This was when we first married.
Oh, I see.
We were being so honest with each other, and he'd never asked me before, so I felt no need to tell him. We'd been married about 8 months. So he asked me if I'd ever been, with anybody else. And I didn't want to say. I tried to avoid it, and then when I did, well, he didn't like it very much, and it caused some hurt feelings, and so I wrote that song, because it's like, you want me to be perfect, and you can do what you want to do, but my mistakes are no worse than yours just because I'm a woman, that kind of thing. So I actually wrote the first woman's lib song without realizing it. That was back in I guess 67, 66, I wrote that.
You made some great movies. You made some wonderful movies. 9 to 5, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Hey, there was a rumor about a romance, and you and Burt Reynolds. Any truth in
Oh,
it?
no.
No?
Bert and I were too much alike,
He
to
doesn't
be
wear lipstick
No,
and...
but we both wore high heels. He always lifts in his shoes.
Really?
At that time, we both had a roll around the middle. And he wears a toupee, and I wear a wig. So I said, I don't want to fight with him over who's fighting over the wig glue and over the high heels. So no, but he was great. He was great. In fact, one of the funniest things that happened on that movie, he was beginning to turn gray. He played the sheriff. I don't know if you saw the movie, but he had to put black in his mustache, because when he grew his own mustache, it had some gray in it. And when we did our first big kiss on that I Will Always Love You song, and when they pulled back the first time, they had to do it again because my mouth was just all black. and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it's like all of a sudden everybody on the set just started laughing. It just looked like I'd been sucking a sow. It was like so dirty, but it was pretty funny.
Was that the last scene of the movie? Because I was told there was a story about it.
Oh, the last scene, it was when he, and this is the truth too, that's when I was heavy.
Heavy?
Yeah, I weighed quite a bit there. I'm not, no, I can't say that. But anyway, so Bert had to pick me up. There was one of the scenes where he picked me up to carry me off, and he was already having trouble with, he had a hernia. And after after the movie, as soon as it was over, he was going to have to have surgery. And so after he picked me up trying to be the fine actor that he was, he just went right ahead and done it. And he had to have surgery for double hernia. Swear to goodness. That's what I always say. It's like when they used to say bring the double wide on the set, they weren't talking about the truck. They were talking about me. But I lost weight since then.
You're so honest. All these stories. And you're honest on another subject. You talk about, you like to call them nature's enhancements, cosmetic surgery. Now, let me try to remember, and you can correct me if this quote is wrong. You said, I've had nips and tucks and trims and sucks, boobs and waists and butts and such, eyes and chin and back again, pills and peels and collagen. you didn't really have all those things. No way.
Well, you know
I'm sitting
what?
close, no way.
Well, I have done what I need done. You know, to me, when you're in show business, and if you see something sagging and dragging and bagging, I say if you can afford it and you got the nerve to do it,
must cost a
go
lot.
do it. But no, I mean, I kind of enjoy everything that I've kind of created this image. I enjoy doing all that for all the reasons that I told you. And like I said, I don't know if I'm supporting them or they're supporting me. But we've had a good career. But anyway, getting back to a more serious answer, if I need, collagen, you know, is just those little protein injections. If you get like a big wrinkle like you got right there.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Dolly.
Well, come here, I'll show you what they do. So they just put some protein in there, and then they just kind of take a little needle and kind of just fill it in just a little.
I tell you, so it's wonderful. You're not afraid to laugh at yourself, which is rare in a man and almost unique in a female. And you're obviously proud of your figure. I'm sitting here, you got such tiny little feet, tiny little waist.
Well, I got little feet because nothing grows in the shade.
What about what's going on in America? Events in the White House. You got any view on what's been going on there?
Oh, well, that's sad. I really, it's like when something bad happens in your own family. It's sad and it's bad, but it's a bad wound, but you hope that it'll heal and not leave
Americans
too
are
many
upset,
scars.
aren't they? They're really...
Well, it's a bad thing. It's embarrassing.
Did you ever meet President Clinton?
Well, no, I didn't. It's probably just as well. Well, really?
Dolly, what do you make of men over here? What do you think? What do you think about us?
Oh, the men are great over here. Yeah, I mean, it's like I used to come here years ago, and I've always had a good time. The men are always very gentlemanly, very courteous. The women are always nice. It's been a long time since I've been here, and so I don't know what I'm going to do this trip. What are you doing after the show?
Well, I'm going to see a cosmetic surgeon. I don't worry about those things.
You're going to think about it.
I promise you, that doesn't worry me. If I'd have had anything done, it would have been this.
You look great. You look great. I was just trying to tell you what collagen is.
You're a kind man.
I'll never graduate from collagen.
I'll tell you this. Well, I've had some fun times over the years in this couch, and you've been one of the most enjoyable chats I've ever had.
Well, thank you.
You're just great fun. Now, you're going to sing this song for us, Salt in My Tears?
Yeah, You Ain't Worth the Salt in My Tears. This is the new single.
Dolly Parton going to
Okay.
sing for us now. Beautiful.